Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Okay, we've been learning about insects, right? We learned that insects have how many body parts?
We have 3 bodies.
3 body parts. Do you remember what they are?
Head, thorax, abdomen.
Awesome. Head, thorax, abdomen. How many legs do they have?
6 legs.
6 legs.
Six.
And what do they have on top of their heads?
Feelers.
2 little feelers. Okay, we learned about ants on Monday. Today we're studying about bees. We learned that bees have a very long little tongue. Can I see your long little tongues? Yeah. And what do the bees use those tongues for?
To get the nectar out.
The nectar. Nectar from the flowers. So we're going to pretend we have some flowers here. It's just a clear cup with apple juice and a flower cut out. Jugo. And we're going to pretend that these straws are your bee tongues. These straws are your bee tongues. And this jugo, this juice, is the nectar. Now pretend you're the little bees coming up and drinking up all that juicy, sweet nectar. Good little bees. Good little bees drinking that nectar.
And some more nectar. That's nectar.
Now, we also learned that flowers have something else besides nectar. Do you remember what else they have?
They have water?
They have pollen. Pollen's like a little powder. And when bees go to one flower
to the other
and take the pollen to another, it helps grow new flowers, right? So we're going to pretend this is another flower, and we're going to pretend that these Cheetos right here are the pollen. I want you to grab the pollen with your hand. Don't eat it yet. Pretend you're little bees grabbing it with your hand. Grab it with your hand. Touch it. Feel it. Now, put it back down for a minute. Don't eat the pollen yet. Put it back down and look at your fingers. Did you get pollen on your fingers?
Yeah.
Show them. Yeah. So what happens if you take the pollen from this flower and touch another flower? Touch another flower now. Touch it. Touch it, touch it, touch it. There you go. Touch this new flower. What happened? We got pollen from the other flower on this flower too. And that's how new flowers are made. That the bees help that. Now go ahead and eat some of your pollen.
Me too.
Bees take the pollen and the nectar, and they take it back to their beehive, and they make these cool little things called honeycombs. All these hexagons. And they store it in there, and they make, what do they make?
Honey.
They make honey.
That's a big jar of honey.
That's a big jar of honey that Mommy has.
Yep. For our tea.
And they use these little honeycombs, and that's where the queen bee likes to lay her eggs. And that's where they like to store their honey, because they don't like to come out when it's cold, right? When it's winter.
We eat their honey.
Yes.
I eat it.
You can eat more pollen, sure. Okay, let's move your pollen for a minute.
My pollen's good.
Okay, let's have a wipe to clean your hands.
Yay.
Let's save some of this pollen for later. Clean your hands.
Thank you. I feel a little bit more pollen.
Now we're going to pretend this is a flower again. Can you please clean your hands? We're going to pretend this is a flower again. Now we're going to pretend this syringe is our bee tongue.
Yes.
Right? The bee comes, put it in there, and then pull the yellow part out. The bee comes and sucks out the nectar, and she flies back to her beehive, and she stores the nectar in her little hexagon honeycomb. So go ahead and squeeze it a little bit, the yellow, squeeze it in there.
Okay.
You're pretending you're a bee, and you're putting, the nectar into the little honeycombs, and you're making honey. See? And that's how a bee does it.
A bee does it like that.
She makes her honey.
Her honey is done.
Okay? Do you want to try
Yeah.
getting some nectar from the flower?
Oh, not
Okay.
like that.
Pull the yellow one out.
And that.
Okay, pull it out. That's it. That's it. Okay, now we're going to gently, she's going to fly back to her honey beehive, and she's going to gently put it back. Whoa! Gently back into the honeycomb. Whoa, gently. So remember, you have to do it gently, because if not, it'll Flash your face.
Back my face.
Okay? So that's what we learned about bees today. Bees can make honey. Bees can help grow new plants. And bees are very, very important to us.
Yes.
But bees also sting, right? You got stung by a bee, right, on your belly? And it hurts, right? So we have to be careful around bees. What do you remember the name of the man or woman, an adult who works with bees?
It is
a beekeeper. And they wear special suits. They cover their faces. They cover their arms, their hands. That way they can go and they pull out
the honey.
Yeah, they get the honeycomb out. And all the bees are flying all around it, but they don't really get stung because they're protecting their faces and their bodies. Okay? Say thank you for learning about bees with us.
Thank you for learning bees for us.
Okay, say bye. See you next time. See you next time.